Today we're going to talk about how you can have a magnetic mindset, not just for public speaking, but also in life in general. Last class we laid out 5 tips for public speaking, and a lot of you said, these are cool, but how do I do them? It all starts with your mindset. Having confidence comes from having the right mentality. So today we're going to go over 6 tips for you to have a more magnetic mindset that's going to make you more confident and a better public speaker and just a better person in general. The first mindset we have to have, especially in public speaking, is this: no matter what, I will be okay. No matter what, I will be okay. So many people live their lives in what ifs. So many people live their lives in fear of failure. So many people are paralyzed by analysis. We call it paralysis by analysis. They're so paralyzed from acting because they can't get over all of the what ifs that they never end up doing anything. Fear stops action. But a lot of this fear will go away if we can realize that the consequences of failure in most of these situations aren't actually that bad. I'm not going to try out for the basketball team because what if I get cut? I'm not going to ask this girl to the dance because what if she says no? I'm not going to go for this position in band because what if I'm not good enough? The worst thing that happens in those scenarios is really not all that bad, but the best thing that could happen in those scenarios is that you achieve something great. So no matter what, you will be okay, and don't let those what ifs and those fears prevent you from acting. If you get up in front of the class and you completely bomb a speech, guess what? You maybe embarrass yourself a little bit in front of 20 people in an introduction to public speaking class in middle school. You're gonna be okay. So don't let the what ifs prevent you from pursuing something great. People admire those who don't let fear prevent them from pursuing their dreams. So number 1, no matter what, I will be okay. Number 2, I care more about my character than I care about my reputation. Character is more important than reputation. The way that you are matters far more than the way people think you are. If you try to control people's opinions of you, well, you're gonna compromise who you are. You just try to please everyone, well, eventually you're gonna not please yourself. You're gonna go against your character, go against your values. So have a confident sense of who you are as a person, and don't compromise that. Who you are as a person is much more important than who people perceive you to be. And when we're up here practicing public speaking, maybe people are going to perceive you to not be very smart, not be very articulate, but you're actually being braver than anyone else because you're taking the risk of learning public speaking. So what people think about you doesn't matter. What you know about yourself is all that matters. And when we try to cater to what we want people to think of us, we end up letting them control us. So number 2, your character is more important than your reputation. Number 3, I have great honesty and great integrity. Even small lies chip away at your character on the inside. And what they ultimately do is devastate your ability to speak with confidence and with conviction. Oh, I'm only 5 minutes away, when you've actually just left your house. It's not a huge deal, but over time, people will start to see you as someone who is not reliable to show up on time. So all of these little lies build to habits, and those habits are what people perceive us as. And I know I just said that what we know ourselves to be is more important than what people perceive us to be, but lying is something that comes from the inside. And so we certainly don't want to be perceived as untrustworthy or as a liar, because we actually are. If we're being trustworthy, if we're telling the truth, and people perceive us as a liar, well, we can't help that. So as far as it depends on you, have great honesty and have integrity. I know you do. I know you know what's right. So maintain your honesty, maintain your integrity, and you will be able to speak and persuade with more conviction. Number 4, I don't need to convince anyone of anything. But wait, Aren't we in a public speaking class? Aren't we here to persuade people? We are. You're here to learn to be better at persuading. But you're also here to know that you don't need to persuade anyone of anything. That's the key word, is need. We want to be persuasive, but we don't need to persuade anyone of anything. Persuasion is convincing. Persuasion is increasing the likelihood that someone says yes. But we have to have enough solidarity in who we are as people that we're not dependent on someone's yes. If you get up and your job is to give the best persuasive speech ever, and you utterly fail at persuading anyone, it doesn't matter, because you walk off that stage and the audience is right where they were before you walked on. No harm. You're not hurt, the audience is not hurt. Best case scenario is maybe everyone says yes, maybe one person says yes, two people say yes. So all this is, we're giving you tools to be more persuasive, but we have to recognize that your identity is not in persuading people. So number 4, I don't need to convince anyone of anything. Number 5, I clearly communicate my purpose. Remember, public speaking, a speech, is telling a story, making a point. We have to be clear in our speech's intention. I clearly communicate my purpose by making a point in a speech. When you have a purpose that you care about, people pick up on that energy. They understand that you're passionate about something. And here's the truth, guys. Most people aren't really passionate about a lot of things. So you can be the one to bring someone into the fold of your passion, and they're going to respect you for that. They're going to want to join you in whatever you care about. So if you clearly communicate your purpose, you have confidence about your purpose, then you're able to bring people along that journey with you. So number 5 is clearly communicate your purpose. 6th and final one, start going first. I know it's terrifying. When someone asks for a volunteer, everyone's terrified to be the first to go. But what's the worst thing that can happen? Remember number 1, no matter what happens, I will be okay. Who wants to go first for this speech? Put your hand up in the air. Everyone's terrified. Everyone's going to be watching you to see what happens. And no matter what happens, they know that you had the courage to go before they did. So people will respect the person who goes first. When you go first, you signify bravery and you signify leadership. You communicate to people that I am someone who is capable of leading you. I am someone who is capable of helping you meet your goal. People will be thankful that you gave them permission to open up around you. If you're in a group of strangers, be the first to crack a joke. Be the first to say hello. Be the first to be vulnerable. Because what you do is you assume a leadership position among those people and you give them permission to open up and to be themselves. And when someone gives you permission to be yourself, and they know that you're not going to judge them, you're not going to reject them, that you're going to love them, you're going to accept them, then they respect you. And I promise you that they will want to say yes to you. If this backfires, guess what? It will be okay. So number 6, start going first. And even if it crashes and burns, no matter what happens, you will be okay.